What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Julia. I'm a certified personal trainer and I post all things health, fitness, lifestyle, but my favorite videos of all to create would be the more educational, informative ones like we're gonna get into today. So I'm gonna be talking all things calorie deficit, and like always, I'm gonna try to keep things very simple, very easy to understand, and kind of talk you through how I coach my clients through a calorie deficit in order for them to have a successful cut phase. And notice how I just said cut phase. Please understand that when you are going into a calorie deficit, it should not be something that you are committing to for the rest of your life, okay? It should just be a small phase within your health and fitness journey. It's not healthy to consistently be in a calorie deficit for long periods of time. I always suggest a 12-week cut phase being in that calorie deficit. So just understand that this is not like a lifetime of being in a calorie deficit. It is just a phase. All right, now that I cleared that up, I feel like it's also important to note that if you want to lose weight, you need to be in a calorie deficit. It's a proven fact. You can't argue with me on this one. If you are trying to lose weight, the only way to do it is by being in a calorie deficit. It's really as simple and black and white as that. But what is a calorie deficit? Simply put, it means that you are expending more calories on a daily basis than you are consuming. So you are burning more calories than you are eating each day consistently. The key here is consistency. Like all things with health and fitness, consistency seriously is key, and consistency is gonna lead to that slow and steady progress and those lasting results and get you to your goal. So in other words, when you're in a calorie deficit, you want that energy in balance. Calories are energy. When you're eating them, you are consuming energy. When you're burning them, you are expending energy. And you want that in balance because you want to be burning more calories than you are consuming on a consistent basis. So ways to ensure you're in a calorie deficit would be to intentionally decrease your calorie consumption, making sure you're eating less than you do on a typical daily basis. You could also intentionally increase your calorie expenditure, making sure you're burning more calories than you typically do on a daily basis. And then the third option, probably the most popular option and most like realistic, widely used option, would be a little combination of both, you know? Nothing too drastic either way, but a slight decrease in your calorie consumption, a slight increase in your calorie expenditure, and that will help tip that scale and give you that energy and balance that you're looking for. And when it comes to that actual number for the calorie deficit, I have been getting so many questions about what my specific calorie deficit calories are, what my calorie maintenance calories are, and I'm not gonna give that number out because it's not gonna be helpful at all. We are all so incredibly different. We have such different caloric needs, we have different lifestyles, different jobs, we have different physical activity levels. Like, we all need very different things. So me giving you my calorie deficit number is not gonna be of any help because you need to find your own. And no, you don't technically need to track. Like, if you don't like tracking and if it messes with your head, you technically don't need to track. You could just be like, oh, I'm gonna cut this snack out, or I'm gonna cut down on my portions and kind of guesstimate that calorie deficit. But in my mind, it's way more simple and black and white to just track your calories so you know exactly what you're consuming and you know for sure you are in that calorie deficit. But once again, when it comes to that number, it is gonna be so individualized to you. And for my clients, I always suggest that they track for 1 to 2 weeks of their normal eating. Don't change anything. Don't try to be super healthy or cut down. Just eat how you normally would. Weigh yourself at the beginning, weigh yourself at the end. If your weight really hasn't changed over those 1 to 2 weeks of tracking your normal eating, there's a good chance that those are your maintenance calories. And then when it comes to our calorie deficit calories, a good rule of thumb is 200 to 500 calories less than your calorie maintenance calories would be your calorie deficit calories. I personally always tell my clients to go about 200 to 300 less, just because I'm giving them a training program too. I know they're getting their physical activity in. I know they're gonna be burning more calories than they were before getting on this training program. So that's why I always go with the lower end. I am also someone who is all about slow and steady progress. I want lasting results, and I've just had a lot of success with the 200 to 300 calorie deficit for me, myself, and for a lot of my clients. Another thing that's super important to mention when it comes to being in a calorie deficit would be to make sure you are still prioritizing your protein intake. While yes, the goal of being in a cut and the goal of being in a calorie deficit is weight loss, a lot of times the goal right underneath that is improving your body composition. For majority of people who are trying to lose weight, they want to make sure majority of that weight they're losing is fat. So in other words, you want to make sure you hold on to that muscle. So you need to make sure you are consuming enough protein to hold on to as much muscle as possible and kind of just help ensure that majority of the weight you are losing is from fat mass. So still prioritize that protein intake. Don't just throw it out the window. Make sure you are eating enough. And once again, that number varies from person to person. You kind of are going to have to go through some trial and error and calculate what the right protein consumption amount is for you. All right, I'm gonna wrap this up with a little hard truth. When you are consistently in a true calorie deficit, please understand that it is completely normal and even expected that you feel a little bit hungry. You are giving your body less calories than it's used to consuming. You are burning more calories than your body is used to burning. Your body's gonna be confused by that energy imbalance and you're gonna feel a little bit hungry. It's normal, it's part of the process, but remember, it is just a phase. You are not staying in that calorie deficit for the rest of your life. That will literally destroy your metabolism. It's just a phase, and after that calorie deficit, after that cut phase, you're gonna slowly, incrementally bring those calories back up through a reverse diet, get back up to maintenance, hang out at maintenance for a bit. If you guys want me to make a whole separate video on being in a reverse diet, please let me know. I would love to help inform you on all of that. But hopefully this little crash course on being in a calorie deficit and what a calorie deficit really is was super helpful for you guys. If you have any other questions, please leave them down below. I would love to help answer them. And if you like this video, don't forget to give it a like, make sure you're subscribed, and I will see you all next time.